We attempted to spice things up for you this week by switching our host James and producer floor Tom for the start of this episode. This resulted in the casualty of our professional grade mixing board's audio. Our audio recording software decided to use the audio from the laptop instead of from our very nice soundboard. David has done his best to save the shenanigans that ensued during the taping of this episode. We all thought that it was too good not to post, so we're hoping that you can look past the lower quality audio and still have a good time hanging out with all of us. Cheers.
It's entertainment time here at the Hangout.
I'm just trying to bring a little culture to the group. It could totally use a friendly hangout. So,
That back in the day, baby.
it's the culture, Daryl. Good hangout.
Whatever.
Welcome everybody to the Hangout. I am your host today, Tom. To the left of me, I've got Big Dog, Little Beard David, the roof diving daredevil from downtown Pound Town.
We're here, look at me. Go ahead, Tom.
In the room next to me, far, far away, I got Jam Band James, the mustachioed menace, the junkyard jester, the new P&Z queen.
Oh man, you're gonna take my job now.
Oh, it's over. He's coming for you, James.
Yeah, but I do an improv. Mine's improv.
Man, I was spurred of the moment.
That was very, very good.
Yeah,
That was very sharp. Very sharp.
A little inspiration in the bathroom helped out. I had to run back to write it down real quick.
Oh, that's so good. Well done, Tom. We're switching things up just a little bit for a second, giving Tom a little bit of spotlight and letting him introduce what he brought for us to drink today.
So I brought something I've never had before.
That camera.
That camera.
Oh, it's not flipped. Hold on.
Nope.
Come on, producer of the year 2026.
Show it off.
So this is something new. I've seen it pretty frequently, but I've never actually tried it. It's called Apple Saucy. It's an apple ale.
Wow, it looks good from Saucy Brewworks. I've been there. They have good beers. So I've never had from Orchard Ale. So a 5.5% apple ale. So
Apple saucy.
it's not a cider, but an ale. So
Shouts out. I didn't do a shouts out last episode, but shouts out Saucy Brewworks. They sponsor Level Up Paintball when they were pro team. I'll get into that someday, but yeah, I love Saucy. They have great pizza.
yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And while we're opening these, we would like to remind you guys that the absolute best way to support the show is by subscribing to our YouTube channel. We are now on episode 11 and having a great time doing it. We love that you guys are taking the time out to listen to us. So if you could just throw a subscribe, like. We've got the new Instagram new Instagram, the Hangout Culture, live now with Tom kind of running.
Yeah, we're having a little fun over there. I'm having fun running some of the comments and the captions. So it's fun when people comment and talk trash. They don't know who they're talking to, but they assume it's whoever's in the video. So I get to have a little bit of fun with that.
Yeah, and I love the polls that you've been running on. I'm asking like random questions that have to do with the reel. So be sure to leave comments and vote on those and help spread the Instagram account.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun.
I'm ready to try this show out there. James, what did you think of this?
I really like it. It's like a sour, right?
It's better than I thought it would be.
Well, it's not as sour as a sour. It's actually, it does remind me of applesauce, though.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say. It just reminds me of applesauce.
Yeah, no, that's pretty tasty. It's like sweet, but I love how the logo on it is all with the green, because I definitely get more of like a Granny Smith apple with it than like a cider has more of a red apple.
It really has a punchy flavor. Hold on. Yeah, Tom, what do you think? I'm going to take your job. You're going to take my job. I'll take your job. There's a punch. Yeah.
And I do like the logo. It reminds me of like an old skateboarding sticker company.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it's like
what was that, Spitfire?
Tony Hawk Spitfire.
Yeah,
like
like
when
the
I
little
used to
flame
shop at
guy.
Pacific Sunwear.
I wonder if it's inspired by that at all.
I don't
Like
know.
it's somewhat similar. I mean,
Wow.
that was big back in the day. So
That was bad.
I think you might have more fun over there, James. That might be
Not
more-
really.
Making the most of it while you're over there. I guess.
Well, and I'll find something, and then as soon as I find it, then you guys have moved past. So that's like the hardest part, is just keeping up with being ahead of you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I blacked out the last like 2 or 3 minutes. I was looking for that soundboard. So.
But what's fun is when you watch this back, you'll be like, oh, I don't even remember that part.
Yeah.
That's true.
Which I'm sure you experience when you watch the episode back after it's posted.
Yeah, it's fun because I'm like, I was
Time.
right there. How did I miss that? But it's usually I'm like Googling up a picture of Bambi or Googling up Republican sweatshirts.
Right.
Excuse me? I thought y'all was talking right towards me.
I mean, anything camo, right?
Anything.
Yeah, I dress Republican. I vote very weird.
Oh, I love it. Oh man, awesome. Well, it's been it's nice to have you front and center, Tom.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, right. Awesome. Well, I think I'm gonna kind of get to a side update that I didn't quite get to during the last episode. That was a part of the weekend that I had a lot of fun doing. My wife and I made a trip to Toledo and went to the Museum of Art there. And my wife is actually a jeweler. So the main reason that we were going there is because a gentleman by the name of Neil Lane had his private collection as an exhibit, or on display as an exhibit, at the museum, and we really wanted to go watch it, or go see it. So what I didn't realize was that this museum also has like an entire glass section to it that has glass blowing demonstrations.
Hold on, who was it again? I forgot I was a producer. I was.
No. I didn't bring
Neil Lane?
Neil Lane, but I didn't bring him.
Oh, I nailed it.
No, well, sure.
Oh,
But
is this for Tom?
No, I wasn't going to bring up a whole slide about him. It was just like that was the main exhibit that we were going to, and what I'm going to get to is below that. But
Neil Lane.
yes, Neil Lane. He has a quite extensive private collection that he had on display. And I guess I'll go to this and then I'll talk about the glass. But one of the cool things about his private collection that Alex kind of taught me about, she has an art degree, and was by an artist by the name of Suzanne Bell Perrone. And a lot of her early work was accredited underneath the jewelry house that she was working for. So she didn't get any of the notoriety from all of her pieces. And he, on display, had like 4 or 5 different pieces that were actually accredited to her.
Oh,
and it was really cool to see that, like, definitely representing her. They had a bunch of different pieces, like I said, of hers, as well as in the back of the museum itself had this entire glass section. And I love glasswork.
Same,
It's one
same.
of my
Cholula,
favorite
obviously.
mediums of art. It is so cool.
Like glass blowing?
Yeah, glass
Yeah.
blowing. It was like a whole different building. We had to like walk out of the actual museum down like a pathway across the street to this other whole building that was nothing but glasswork.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Our moms and all of our aunts did glass blowing for their Christmas present. They did so then.
Yeah, I have a picture of all of them standing there. Or maybe, I think Mandy added it to her story,
Yeah,
so I'll ask
but
her for it. And I
They
can
all
put
did
it up.
glass blowing so
Yeah.
that was funny.
Was this at Akron?
I think it was in Akron.
Yeah,
I did it up in Cleveland. I've done it twice, and it's been a lot of fun. Like
Yeah.
glass blowing is sweet.
My wife and I made Christmas ornaments, but it was in Akron, and we did that on a date together. For our anniversary, we went to the Columbus Botanical Gardens, and
Okay.
they have a huge Cholula glass exhibit, which is one of our favorites. And then we have multiple friends who blow glass and are really good at doing that.
Nice.
So it's definitely a huge.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the show Blown Away?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We love
dude,
that.
It is incredible, some of the art pieces that they bring up. But to somewhat get off of the glass topic, because I did bring up a tab, they had a artist gallery in there that was, to me, like one of the most impressive forms of art. Like when Alex explained to me how they do it, I was like, are you kidding me? That's how the art is created. It's copper sketching. So they have a pan or a plate of copper, and then they'll either acid wash it or actually like etch in the print, right? And then they fill it with ink and press it on paper. So it is one of the coolest.
Like a transfer, like a printing press would do.
Yeah. So the specific guy that we had seen, the tab, James.
I'm sorry.
You're
Zoom.
You're
It's an inside joke.
We're all bad at producing. Hold on.
The specific artist that I was looking at, though, James, I have a tab at the top. It's to the left of the Suzanne Belperron. You can see the Suze. It's to the left of the Suze.
This
Other way. Nope. To the left. There. Left. One more. Oh boy. Oh no. One
Tom
more
makes it
left.
look
Sorry.
easy.
This is the Suzanne Belperron, but I wanted. It's Craig Fisher.
Could have been great, James.
Who
It
is
could have been great.
just to the left. Yeah, Craig Fisher. So this guy was featured there, and to think that all of this art was made by sketching or acid washing a plate of copper and then pressing it on paper is incredible. And I really liked his artwork. If you want to keep scrolling down to show a couple more, James.
The details insane. You wouldn't
Oh my
expect that
gosh.
from something that was done that way.
Yeah, and a lot of his stuff, like, to me, came off as like UFO tendencies, like these little orbs that are like floating in his artwork. I really liked, and just thought it was so neat the way they put color into things. Like coming from just a copper plate, I just was so fascinated by it.
Some of these remind me of like MC Escher, with just like an addition of another realm of something with like we talked about with the colors.
Yeah, that one was one of my favorite. They actually had that one specifically on display, but like the gradient of color and usage with the black and gray, I was just such a fan of this guy, and we spent a good that you were pointing
That
to this
stairwell. That's the one that I saw, and I was like, that's MC Escher with a twist.
Yeah,
and I think that's super cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. That I highly recommend the Toledo Museum of Art. It was a good experience and big. We were shocked at how much stuff they actually had. Yeah.
And all of these are sold, and they're all going for like $200 or $300.
Oh, you know how much I would love to get one of these for the studio? It would be so cool.
So would this print be on copper then?
Yeah, all of his work is on like a copper print, but like it's you would get paper. Like he has the copper plate that he etched and then transferred.
So how much
onto
is that
paper.
copper plate? Wait, the copper plate doesn't resemble the actual
Or is it
finished
the
product,
opposite
right?
and it presses onto the paper?
It's like the opposite, yeah, because you're like, you have this plate that's all etched, so like the deeper etches have more ink, and like that's how you create the contrast with like little etches that are lighter colors. You put all the ink on it, and then you place the paper on it, and it transfers, and the deeper colors, depending on how you fill it and how you etch it with ink, or etch it and then fill it with ink, you get this contrast and detail, and it's such a cool process. I've never seen a video of it, but like in my head, the way that Alex was explaining it to me, I feel like that's how it's done. She'll probably ridicule me after hearing this.
So that's the reason why they do it on copper? Like, is there
I'm not
anything
sure what
special?
the reason for copper specifically. I don't know if like traditionally that's what was available.
Well,
and
it's
they
more of a
used.
malleable metal, so maybe
That's true.
helps
Yeah.
it with.
It's easier to etch rather than using a harder metal.
It's
Yeah.
even like with being a kid, and you would do kind of like the stamped copper. You put a piece of paper over it, and then etch over it with like the side of a crayon, because the copper was easily malleable and it could change shape easier.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm sure that's why. Yeah. That's super neat. Thanks for sharing that, Tom. I didn't know you were an art major.
Well, that's the one thing that, and I know James will always say, "Oh, I'm no artist, but in my opinion, I think that all three of us are kind of artists.
No, what we do is art.
So I know that you've talked like I couldn't draw this or draw that, but in a
I can't
different
draw,
way,
right?
I think that all three of us. I mean, anybody who will spend 45 minutes on a flat lay.
I mean, even this
It's an art
podcast,
form.
podcast is an art form.
Exactly.
Like, photography, even like wedding photography is certainly an art form. Just photography in general, videography, cinematography, podcasting. It's all
It's all one of our in combination of all three of us, one of our favorite things to look at and talk about.
Yeah, and I like that like other artists made the podcast where we can get our opinions on. Like when I brought up Dan Kosich's art and we had it up and like getting
Shouts out Dan Kosich.
I love that. But I love that like getting your interpretation of it and like seeing, because all of us are pretty like-minded but perceive art in different ways. We all listen to slightly different music. We might like different paintings for different reasons. So I just think it's really cool that some like painting art or just visual art has made the podcast.
And you brought up a couple. You brought up this one and then the other one.
Yeah, Dylan Cedar.
Which reminded me of like Derek Hess, which you have. So it's like we all like things that are kind of in similar styles and inspired by similar people. It's kind of interesting to learn from each other about that. I really enjoy it.
If you don't have art and some sort of like culture to share and to intermingle or whatever, like life is just so boring, you know?
Yeah, could you imagine your house without any like paintings on the wall or any like art on the wall?
And where does that all come from? It comes from different cultures, different people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know I'm wearing a Republican sweater. Sounded radical. But I've always been a creative. Always. Like my first memories were making a magazine at the computer. What I would do is I would like print out things from the internet, like the very early adaptation of the internet, and then cut it out with scissors and glue it to pieces of paper and scan it and print it back out and then like create a magazine and have it would be like Jimmy's magazine, and I would sell it for 25 cents. Like that's always
awesome.
been in me. And then like we got our first like video camera, and like a kid's video camera, and I just started making videos. I've always had to create. So, and that's why I love this podcast. It's a big form of expression. We show photos, we show video, we talk, we do it all. So podcast is awesome.
Yeah, it's like a multimedia.
And I had the same thing growing up. I, back in the day, I had my boombox. I spent a lot of time in my room. I spent a lot of time listening to music. So I would record songs, keep tracks, and then I would record my own little radio shows.
Yeah.
Introducing songs. I would pretend to, be my own guest and stuff like that. And people, my sisters would be in the room next to me laughing because they're hearing me talk to myself and everything. But that was my memories of being creative.
I have a story. When I was in college, my freshman year of college, which was 2008. 2008 was my freshman year of college. There was like this tradition for a couple of weeks where like once or twice a week we would drink a lot, just like we're doing now, right? We would have this exact same mixing board, and we would plug in an SM58 microphone, which is what our guests will use when we have a guest. We would plug it in here, and just in a dorm room, like after a night of drinking, we would go to the market and get a bunch of food, and then we would plug the microphone in. There would be like 5 or 6 of our friends around the dorm room, and we would just like pass around the microphone and just like say the dumbest shit. And this was before podcasts. We called it room 238 broadcast because there was no such thing as a podcast, and that was the dorm number room we were in was room 238. So it was room 238 broadcast, and it would just be us like talking like we are now, and just hanging out. And we had one microphone we'd all pass around. But I remember I really need to get my Mac up and running again from college, because I think there's a couple episodes out. So like I said, it just goes back to like me just always having to create something.
Yeah. I don't have anything specific like creative. Excuse me. Like making any broadcasts or like doing anything like that. I always remember, as far as growing up goes, I was always so fascinated by art, like almost in awe, to like think, because I can't draw, I'll never be able to create any of that. So I gravitated towards music, and I was always I was always tapping on things, creating beats with my hands. Like, so I gravitated towards like percussion, but also just like, I remember always having to learn songs on like CDs, having to like rewind and go back, and I always got really fascinated by lyrics, so I gravitated towards rap in a lot of ways, because I was like, that's really cool how they can orchestrate these words to sound like a melody within a beat and have it like all rhyme. I was always fascinated with that, so like that's kind of what that was my creative outlet, and like writing raps or writing poetry, I guess, in a way, was kind of my outlet to it.
This is what a CD is.
Well, I used to do that again with the cassette tapes, because you could
Hold on, I have to
rewind.
Google that. Hold on.
No, you're good.
But I would, write lyrics. So, like, one of the first rap CDs I had was "Creepin' on a Come Up." It was Bone Thugs and Harmony, and it was
Locals.
my
Shout out to
stepbrother.
Bone Thugs.
100%. I've met a couple of them before, Cleveland, everything. But my stepbrother introduced me to it. So I would go through and...
This is a cassette tape. For those watching.
Yep.
For our younger viewers.
And I would do the same. Rewind, write as much as I could understand, play again.
Yep.
So my dad had found my book of Bone Thugs and Harmony lyrics, and that was what started the whole parental
Censorship.
advisory like we discussed before. That was this kind of like,
my son's writing.
do you know what these are about? And I'm like, no, but it's just super cool.
Yeah. Do you hear how it sounds when he says it? It sounds cool.
And it's so fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I need a refresher course on them. I haven't listened to nearly enough of them.
I've seen them in
recently.
concert like 3 or 4 times at my first job at Giant Eagle.
I'm not crazy, right? Those are Clevelanders.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They're from
East
Cleveland.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yep.
You see what I'm doing, Tom? You see this nice PNC?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Little do we know this
Crazy
will turn into
lazy.
a
We're fighting for each other's job over here. We're fighting for our lives.
No, it's we've gotten to see him in concert a few times. I've gotten to meet Wishbone. He would show up to the Giant Eagle I worked at, and he had his big Mo Thugs chain.
Which one is that? Is one in this picture?
He was the. They look a little different.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, top
Yeah,
right.
he would have his big Mo Thugs chain walking into Giant Eagle, and everybody was just in awe. But his grandma lived right there. Or he'd be waiting outside of the mall in his SUV, just bumping, and I'd be leaving driving school, and they're all out there. I'm like, that is so cool. He's the best.
What a freaking cool era to live in. Like, I reminisce a little bit, or like when I think about all the fun eras to live in, like that is one that I feel like would have been the most fun. To be like your lower 20 or early 20s, mid 20s in the 90s, I feel like would have been a lot of fun. I'm not like you could push it back even further, and that's more fun. But like the 90s, always when I think of it, it's like if I was just older during the 90s, it would have been so much more fun.
Well, and we talk about, like, James talks about loving Pearl Jam, and so we talk about grunge, and so a lot of times I'm like, I wish I was just a few years older so I could have seen Soundgarden live, or I could have seen, those bands like Alice in Chains, because I was just a little too young to be able to go see them live.
Yeah.
Yeah, think of how I feel. I'm even younger than you are.
True.
Yeah. And you guys align more on that.
Yeah.
grunge.
Well, I have seen Pearl Jam in high school.
That's
I saw
so
them at
cool.
the Gund Arena.
Yeah.
It was a great show. I'll never forget. There was one time during the Pearl Jam concert where they just have a spotlight on him, and it's either a guitar or a mirror that he uses to reflect onto the crowd, and he gets each and every person in the entire arena. He reflects that light back to them.
Yeah.
And I remember he came up to our section. It's just like one of those things where it's like, how can you connect to an entire arena
Yeah.
being this like grungy rock and roll band that you remember being in like these dive bars playing? Like that was like, I'm sure you like reminisce on those glory days.
Jumping off of balconies.
Yeah, that he would do, scale up, whatever. And just like bringing that like one-on-one connection to the audience, and like Eddie Vedder was like, hold my beer, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that idea. And then like the way they turn on like the audience lights or the studio lights, whatever you want to call it, all the lights in the arena when they play Yellow Ledbetter at the very end. That's a tradition.
Yeah.
And you can see every single person is just like just like turning on the lights of a room. You just see everything now. And they play that. Mike McCready does like a solo at the very end. That's always one of one. He always makes a new solo at the end of that song. Just like, artists, true artists. And I hope to one day be a fraction of that. Just with, the things we're doing here. Everything's creative that we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And even to like bring it just slightly to audience members that are a little bit even younger than that, I remember that it was a big thing when I was growing up, like Vans Warped Tour was big, but I was just too young to be able to like really, really enjoy it and make it a thing where I went every year. Because I was like 14 or 15 when I was able to like start going. Unfortunately, I never went to one, unfortunately, but like they quit doing them like my senior year, and I wish that I was like able to drink at some of those. Like even being just that 5 years older, I would have went to every single one and had, I think, a lot more fun seeing all those bands.
And that would have been super cool. Like, I didn't get to go to my first concert until I was 18. It was my 18th birthday.
Okay.
POD. I had seen like Dan Fogelberg with my dad, but as far as like when I wanted to go see Rage Against the Machine with my friends, no, not gonna happen.
Right.
So once I turned 18, but similar to you, it was like some of those Lollapaloozas and stuff had already kind of, passed me by. But I remember when they started announcing Vans Warped Tour, and it was like, we got skateboarders, we got Eminem, and we got like Blink-182. And it was,
they brought it back just this last year, but they only did 3 shows.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, no, do a tour.
Yeah.
It's a tour. Put like 12 big cities on that. You know you're going to sell out.
Yeah.
Like, just make the money. And there's enough bands that would come back, and there's enough new bands that like fill the opener slots.
Oh, yeah.
That like
Similar.
fit the mold of what Vans Warped Tour was. Like, come on.
Well, the one thing that's been beneficial for me is incarceration.
Yeah, that one's
So-
been another big one here in Ohio.
Well, and it's kind of
is it national?
I mean, it's huge.
Does it go? But I mean, does it travel,
But it's a
or is it
one
just
stop.
a one? Okay.
So
okay.
it's similar to like in Columbus, they have.
I thought that was incarceration.
No, this is in Mansfield, so it's at the prison.
Yeah, I thought that's what.
But it's more. They do have one in Columbus at Crew Stadium that's a little bit bigger.
Oh.
But this one, so like I got to see Pantera and Slipknot and Megadeth and
Yeah.
all kinds of these bands. We got to watch Megadeth in the rain, which is kind of like Goo Goo Dolls in the rain. It was,
Nah.
it was,
dude.
it was
Everyone's
pretty epic.
experience
You know
is
what?
individual.
Nothing goes harder than Goo Goo Dolls in the rain. Nothing goes harder than that.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, and it's so expensive now. It makes it hard because you kind of have to choose. Like
Yeah.
I can do one of these.
Well, that's
things.
why I was a fan of like a Vans Warped Tour, where
Mm-hmm.
I could, you know, depending on lineups, I'd be able to see like 7 or 8 different bands over the course of the day, and only pay for a 1-day admission
Yep.
ticket. I might back in the day, it was like $50 for a 1 day. Like the 3-day
Yeah.
pass was like the super expensive one for $120, and it's like to think about being able to see that many bands for $120 compared to now, where you're taking out like loans
firm.
to go
Yep.
see
Oh, yeah.
bands with your kids is wild.
That payment just hit for the Deftones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a pro tip: don't go to Warped Tour in flip flops. I learned that.
How many have you been to?
2, but one was in Virginia Beach, and the only reason my family was on vacation, and it lined up where we were on vacation, and that was just and it was right there.
Well, you have to go then,
Yeah.
right?
But the only band I really wanted to see was Flogging Molly, and I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to see Flogging Molly." And then like a day or two before, I found out that they weren't playing that show, and so I was so bummed out. I was like, "I'm so bummed out. I don't give a f- I'm just gonna wear sandals or flip flops or whatever and go." And you know, when I get there, I'm like, "Oh, Attack Attack is playing," and like I tried moshing with flip flops and Attack Attack in like the center of the pit. Not fun at all. Not fun. Would not recommend. But I was like, oh man, I should have actually worn shoes and not been so emo about going to Warped Tour. Not seeing the one band I wanted to see, Flogging Molly. I've seen them a bunch. I love Flogging Molly, but Attack Attack is awesome too.
Alex has my wife Alex has a concert poster from a Vans Warped Tour that she went and saw that had like 4 out of my top 10 artists that were there. I mean, it was like, maybe not top 10, but like the lineup was just incredible. It was like All Time Low, Cobra Starship, Fall Out Boy, Metro Station was there, but it was just like a lot of bands. It was like, that was a hero show.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been the show to be at when these bands were in their
Like
prime.
if you could pick your ultimate playlist,
Yes.
those would have been
Yeah, it was like, okay, that I wish I would have saw that. And that was, I believe, I might be misspeaking, but I think that was her first concert.
Oh,
and it
that's
was
cool.
like, what a first concert to go to. Her and I have very, very similar music tastes.
Okay.
So I could only, like, I almost lived vicariously through her and that experience. Where like, if that was my first show, I would have been through the roof. No, unfortunately, not unfortunately, I guess I won't say that. My first show was a shout out to a Christian band by the name of Avalon. My parents took me to go see them, and I learned, I know. Well, what's funny about this is I learned during that concert, because I didn't realize at the time, but almost every single Christian band or church band does the glass around the drum set move.
Yep.
And I
See it at
remember
weddings
thinking,
all the time.
yeah, I was maybe, I was maybe 11 or 12 years old when we went and saw this. And I remember thinking that the drummer was the coolest like person, because he had this like glass shield around him, and that just made him look even cooler than the lead singer playing guitar. And yeah, that was my first concert, but definitely strayed from what my parents listened to very early on.
So
I leveled up. Yep.
my first concert, I was like 9 years old. It was Dan Fogelberg. And he's like a soft rock. I went with my dad. I just remember like I had the flu, so we had to leave early, or I was real sick. So, but it was
Fight through it, Tom.
but it was at a venue called the Front Row Theater, which is now a Home Depot in Mayfield.
Nice.
But
They
it was
cashed in.
I love this. It was circle, and the stage would rotate throughout the show, so like everybody got to see. But yeah, so I went to that, and then my first show that I chose to go was POD, which at the time was kind of like leaving that whole Christian band label, but it was them and Blindside and Fenix TX. On my 18th birthday, and a dude dropped a whole beer on me, and it was a good time. And I went crowd surfing. What was your first concert?
No, actually, because you said crowd surfing, I have a fun story. I went to a, it was
I love you, Tom. I love you so much. I was having a blast back here. I'm sorry.
It's fun.
It was a good time.
It's easy to get distracted, especially on episode 2.
No, we're still having fun.
I was listening the whole time, but I was trying to get the right sound effects.
No, I was at a Hit the Lights concert, and they, I was there. They were doing like the whole. You know how sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, the crowd makes the concert. So I remember James and I went to a concert where nobody was fitting like the 2000s, 2010s like vibe of a concert where everyone's like singing along, moshing, like too many people were just like standing there and swaying and like not being into it, right?
Yeah.
So this was a crowd that was way into it, and into it to the point where they were throwing everybody up as far as crowd surfing goes.
Okay.
And I got thrown up and like made a circle, went onto the stage, and was like, I know I was on the stage with the band, like I like headbanged once and then like jumped back into the crowd. And the crowd, I wish I was making this up, but they took me the whole way around the crowd and then went back on the stage and like had no clue what to do at that point.
Yeah.
Jumped out, they did it one more time, threw me back on the stage, and I was like, I'm done with this, can I please not be on the stage at the band as I'm playing a song? And then they finally let me down, but I was like, what an experience of like crowd surfing 3 times back to back and being on stage with the band, and not something I thought was going to be happening that night, but it's definitely one of my more favorite concert experiences.
So I finally found the video on YouTube. I can't play it because it'll be copywritten. But MTV used to do a concert at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. And so like I saw Nappy Roots there. Nobody will know who they are, but then I saw POD one time. But they filmed it for TV and everything. So like we would point us out, we'd be like, oh, there I am, and there's Phil, and there's FUBU, and all that type of stuff. And I was close to the front for POD, and I had my hand in the air, and he saw my tattoo. I believe it was during Youth of the Nation. And he saw my tattoo, and then he stuck the mic in my face during the chorus, and then I think I sang like a beat off.
Oh,
and
no,
it was one of those.
No, Tom!
Like, I knew right away that I messed up, and that everybody knew. And it was something that here we are, probably 23 years later, and I still think about the time that I sang off to my favorite band.
Oh man, you need to look that up, what year it was, screen record it, send it to me, because I'm going to put it right here on the TV.
Yeah, I have it saved as a bookmark.
You're going to have to. That's hilarious.
Yep.
Well, you asked what my favorite, or not my first concert
your first concert.
Yeah.
And it was Matchbox 20, Everclear, and Lifehouse.
That's a good show.
It's a
very good show. But the thing was, it was at the Gund Arena again in Cleveland. And they put out folding chairs for whatever reason in the standing room. And
in the standing room.
Yeah,
and
on the floor. Yeah, Lifehouse opened, and they're like, this is very, casual, like mid '90s, whatever. I don't know, low energy alt rock. And then Everclear came on, and those folding chairs went flying. The thing was, I was watching this. Dude, it was like WWE like times a million out there. It was
the image in my head kept developing and got funnier and funnier.
To like father of mine.
No, dude, they have some hard. Like if you know, dude, Everclear's in my. I can easily say this in my top 10, easy. And they might even be in my top 5, but. But we were watching the show in a loge. We were in a loge and we were watching down at like this like World War III happening.
Yeah, where's the money sound effect? Or the level up sound effect.
Yeah, I can't
the
see
level up.
A loge.
Even the loge watching Lifehouse in Evactor.
Watching the peasants
Throw their chairs around, hurting themselves, those silly.
Yeah, that was my first show, but I try to stage dive once a year at least, because Tiny Moving Parts always comes around once a year. Shouts out to Tiny Moving Parts. And they play this one song called Sundresses, and there's one particular moment where it's like tradition for me where I stage dive every single time. No matter how shitty the crowd was the last time, it was like really shitty, and I was only stage dive for the entire show. And I was like, I'm doing this, I don't care, you guys better be ready to catch me, I'm going. And I jump in, they did the thing, I went all the way back and was dropped, I didn't circle around like David. But they're like, get this guy out of here, he's 30 something years old, fuck this guy. Yeah. And then, yeah, I've done it before in the exact same part of the song, but it's one of my favorite songs. But
I had yet to join you for one of those concerts because we both really appreciate that band, and I've just missed them coming
I've never
around
heard. What
every
kind
time.
of music is it?
I know, it's on me. It's on me.
Sundress, Tiny Moving Parts is like Midwest emo for sure. Finger tapping, very fast, like almost like math rock, but like a little bit more punk than that.
Okay.
And one of the cool things about them specifically, though, is that the lead singer plays all of the lead guitar parts.
It's
and when
insane.
you hear his music, or hear their songs, and you're like, wait, how does his brain do those two things
He
at the same
sings
time?
and finger taps these very intricate melodies over top of what he's singing, and you have to use both sides of your brain like at 100% to do that. It's wild, but he's so talented. But the thing is, they give 275% every single show because every time I've seen them, there's been a puddle of sweat where they stand. A puddle of sweat. Dude, they're giving it their all every single show, dude.
Isn't it only a 3-piece, too?
It's a 3-piece, and it sounds like a 7-piece. Yeah, that's what they do. It's insane.
Incredible. And their drummer is talented as hell.
Yeah.
I wish that we could, like, play them, but...
we might show a picture of them.
Yeah, we'll play them after the podcast for Tom so they can get acquainted.
One thing that blows my mind, and there's a couple bands that I've seen live. Mastodon is one of them, where when a singer in a song is also the drummer, like the guitarist is kind of like you've become desensitized to, he's just playing guitar. But when it's a drummer, even like Phil Collins, see, the fact that you're playing drums and singing, my hands
I can
lose.
do that.
Me growing up, it was Atreyu.
Yeah.
Atreyu had their drummer was like he wasn't their lead singer, but he sang the majority of
See, they have a few songs that I like.
Yeah, and they're good, but like you wouldn't expect it. I remember watching the first music video by them when I was in high school and seeing the drummer have a microphone and like singing, I was like, whoa, because they're a heavier band. So like to be doing blast beats and stuff on the drum set while singing a chorus or a verse is like, holy
Sometimes
smokes.
it comes natural. It's the same thing with like playing guitar and singing. Some people just can't do it. Some people can. I found it very easy. Then I also found playing drums and singing very easy.
Yeah, I can't do it. I've learned like simple songs on guitar and tried to sing over. Like there's a couple early November songs that you actually taught me. The first song I've known is From Here to LA that you taught me on guitar. And I know the lyrics like the back of my hand. I can play the song like it's nothing. I cannot sing and play at the same time. My brain just won't do it. I'm closer with drums. For some reason, drums and singing, I'm closer because I can keep just a beat instead of like a strumming pattern with different finger positions. I think that's what throws me off. But man, my brain just can't do it.
I just love music. I'm just so in awe of musicians, and whether it's when you talk about your time in Mom's Weekend, right? Mom's Weekend.
No, James. That was James in Mom's Weekend.
I was a drummer for that.
Your mic's off. You're not hot.
Oh yeah, I was a drummer for that. I was gonna go transition into the next half of this.
Maybe the next half.
But yeah, I'm always in awe of like the talent because
You look very good. I'm showing that. You look so
I'm trying to be. I've never been the producer. This is my first day on the job. This is my first day, and I'm like super loud. I'm super loud, but I don't sound loud in the headphones. But the levels look very loud.
You looked very confused for a second.
I've been pretty confused back here. I hope this sounds alright.
Well, I'm glad we got the music talk because that's like I was saying. That's something that I'm in awe of people who are just good at what they do, and so I love going to concerts. I love one of the things I'll look for at concerts is the photographer to see what they're doing and what their equipment
Yeah.
they're using. But then just seeing the whole stage show. I know Tool is one of my favorite bands to see live. And, you know, just the visuals. 9 Inch Nails is another one. That the amount of time that's spent on the visuals and the experience, not just the sound and the music, I'm just always in awe
Well,
of it.
that was the era where things became a show rather than just about the music. Like, I remember, like, the Beatles fame, right? It was about the songs, not necessarily the show. It was about the fame
Or the
and
screaming
seeing
girls and-
them, right?
Yeah.
It was less about that and more about creating an overall visual experience within the concert. I know one of my brother's favorite bands is AJR. And they... okay, but like shout out AJR. They're new age, like more pop related. I guess you put them in a pop genre.
Say, I haven't heard that.
But they are incredible musicians in this era. And what they do at a show is they bring all these visuals, and it's a theatrical show that they put on, and it's one of Jake's favorites. I've unfortunately missed. I need to go to more concerts, and it's of my own fault, but I've missed the past 2 times they've come around, but he's shown me videos that he's taken and the screens that are going up and like the sets that come up and how those change over the course of the concert.
The amount of time and work that goes into planning that,
and when you think about how many buses are taking all these props to every single shore,
and they're there like the day before. You know, you have some bands that have 2 sets of crews, so they've got people already setting up at the next show.
Yeah, ahead of them, and then they come in and like just play. Like, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Whoa. We've got sound effects coming live from James, producer of the year 2026.
Did that sound like metal pipes to anyone?
Maybe being thrown out of a semi on the highway.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe that. But
okay. Sorry, I didn't mean for that.
No, but it's just a very, very, like, definitely the concert scene has become all about it being a show, not necessarily about the music, which
it became being a festival.
Yeah.
And I hate that. Like, let me just see the band I want to see for like a cheap price and let them play for a long time.
The festivals make a band show.
But we were just talking about Vans Warped Tour and how much we appreciated that and being able to see so many different bands.
But that wasn't the norm back then. That was a special event. Like now, fests are just the norm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and I've gone to festivals where I've seen bands and completely forgot that I've seen them. Chevelle comes to mind. And MGK. Like, I have seen them at Roverfest back in the day, but they kind of get lost in like when I discuss the bands I've seen because
which is funny because MGK does like big shows now, especially I believe like MGK Day is a massive festival that he puts on, but like he does a concert.
This was early on.
That's an MGK soundbite.
Dude. This was way early on.
Yeah,
he climbed up the whole.
Yeah, I remember videos of that, like him climbing up scaffolds and like
it was
the different
fun.
frames and stuff. And he's been one of the more wilder performers to come out of Cleveland, at least here recently.
Very Eddie Vedder-ish.
Yeah,
in a way. And
I wanted to be a rock star.
Stuff that he's doing right now is pretty cool too, though. Like I know there was a lot of criticism with him transitioning over to the rock side, but I think that he did a really good job on his latest album of kind of meshing them as well as proving that he can actually play. And I heard a sound or an opinion by it was like a radio station clip that I had saw, and one of the people was saying like, you know, you can say whatever you like about MGK, whether you hate him or like him, but one amazing thing is that they're punk chords, so they're relatively easy to learn. That the newer generation, if they like his music, to be able to play his music is easy. So you're creating a new generation of people that are actually going to want to play guitar, and then take that first step, feel like they're playing this crazy song, and then develop further than that, creating like a new generation of guitar players. So they were accrediting him actually with that, and just that you're creating a new.
Well, and he's they just put out like a new freestyle he's done. So I have a feeling they're kind of trying to push back because that last video he did.
Yeah, well, he was playing like cliche. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and it's like
in the title though. The title is cliche,
but
like he's making a stance.
Yeah.
He made a dance with it. Went TikTok viral.
It was a little goofy.
Oh, it's goofy as hell. But like that was the point. It's all cliche, and that's his stamp. And he's already come out and said that his next album is going to be a rap album. So I'm extremely excited to see because he definitely has chops. Like that guy can rap.
His manager years ago went to high school with my sister. So this was
that's cool.
probably 20 years ago. My sister.
So why haven't we gotten free tickets? What the hell? You gotten in.
She's gotten some backstage passes. And
Let's
she's got
go.
to meet
Hook me
Megan
up,
Fox
Tom.
in
What are you
Colorado.
doing? Let's get MGK on the pod, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, MGK. We got a couch.
Okay.
Nice and warm for you right there. To my left. We will
But
let
it
you
was
run the
probably
whole
like
show.
20 years ago. Before,
Come on, we're in Cleveland.
even
Show
before
some
he
love.
got like Cleveland famous, you know, she would come home and she's like, yeah. She's like, I was at a party and this guy was rapping in the basement. He's so awesome. And I was like, are you seriously going to date another white rapper wannabe kid? And she's like, no, seriously, he's good. And it turned out it was him because she had some mutual friends and everything like that. So
Yeah.
so she kind of
He
had that
has
connection.
he has made some big waves.
And I
in the
know you're a
music
big
industry.
fan.
Yeah, I really enjoy him. When I was growing up, he was nothing but rap, and some of his raps were the early raps that I learned and recited. And like, he isn't always a spitter in terms of like spitting fast, but he can and has on certain songs. Like his one song, Alpha and Omega, is one of my favorite to rap because it's fast, it makes sense, it's clean. Not clean like in the terms of he doesn't like clean as in it's a good rap. Like well put together fast part rather than like some of like Eminem's fast or like another artist is Token, who I have respect for, but Token's raps like he makes syllables work or almost like a Tech 9, right? Like the Choppers, like West Coast Choppers. Some of those rappers were just making the syllables work instead of making sentences that were
story.
a story or like making sense of it while making the syllables work.
Okay.
So I appreciate MGK for a lot of that.
And I like that. Similar to, for me, I had Bone, Cleveland logo.
Yeah.
Do you remember how long ago was the whole Eminem MGK diss song?
Probably a decade ago now.
So my son Trent took that pretty personally because he loved rap at the time and he was writing his own, and it was say 10 years ago.
About.
So he was 6, 7, 8 years old.
So maybe a little bit earlier than that. I
Six,
thought it was
7,
pre-COVID.
Yeah, maybe.
I thought it was pre-COVID.
So Trent would write his own diss tracks because he wanted to
fun.
have each other's back. So he wrote like an MGK diss track and then an Eminem diss track.
He played both sides.
Oh yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he really went into it for a while. It was funny.
No, that's awesome. The diss track era, and like this is all before like the Kendrick Drake.
Oh yeah.
Like this was all not an original diss, but like it had, I don't know. It was even short lived. I think it was one song each. And then it was done.
Rap God or whatever. Rap God.
Rap Devil.
Yep.
It was Rap Devil, and I forget what Eminem's was.
I don't even know.
But it was stupid. It's just stupid beef for publicity.
So you brought up
Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
Drake. So my stepson Gavin, he went to a David Njoku football camp, right?
Okay.
Super cool. Both of my stepsons have gotten the opportunity to go. They play football and everything.
That's awesome.
So they each got a chance to meet David Njoku and get a picture and everything.
Yeah.
And so Gavin asked, he's like, who do you have? Drake or Lamar?
What did he say?
He's like, I don't get involved with that.
Oh, you couldn't give us a hot take for the pod?
No. But I just thought that was funny. I still am like, of all the things to ask, that was an interesting. But it's funny what's on a kid's mind at the time,
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I think I'm going to bring us to a slight transition, though. I know that we had a topic we wanted to talk about that has a little bit of a present from James for us.
Yeah, we're gonna switch up the roles here. Half of these sound effects are in Russian, by the way, so I was struggling a little bit.
You don't know Russian?
Well, you better learn it.
I don't know. All right.
Aren't you Republican?
What does that even mean?
You know.
All right, I'm about to. All right, we're about to job swap.
Oh man, this is fun.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Hangout Culture Podcast. Thanks for still being here.
Second part.
This is part 2. I've resumed my normal duties here. Tom has been put back in his place.
I don't know. You seem to be enjoying it over there.
Welcome to the Hangout. I was enjoying it. To my left, we have the dashing devil of Dallas.
No, Dallas. No.
David Murray. I'm James. I don't know if I introduced myself. I'm James. To my right, we have the Tennessee...
Timid.
the timid Tennessee. Titan.
Tension.
Tom
stricken.
Yeah,
In all fairness, Tom wrote this down. Okay.
I'm conjuring this from the spirits.
I do love Tennessee though.
What was that? The timid something of Tennessee?
Timid, Tennessee.
The tiny
Titans.
timid Tennessee of Titan. Tom the floor, Tom Crane.
Yeah, this is floor Tom.
All right, so so for the second half of this episode, I brought a drink. It's,
Yes. We wanted to get into a second topic, being some of our favorite sports memories. And I don't know, I think James and I's favorite sport is easily baseball.
Yeah.
And we wanted to feature some, is it bourbon?
Well, yes, no, this is whiskey. There's another bottle that's bourbon. I got this for Christmas. Shouts out to Karen and Greg. Love you guys.
Nice.
They got this for me for Christmas.
Attributed to Bob.
Cooperstown Distillery. It's in the shape of a baseball. It's awesome. But first, my weekly update, my sweater. I got this for Christmas. Okay?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Looks schnauzy. Looks awfully Republican.
It does. Yeah. And because we were talking about this episode, and the first thing my fiance says, this is something I asked for Christmas. I asked for this.
Like you sent the link
Explicitly,
like,
this
that's the
sweater.
Okay.
This sweater. They
Okay.
couldn't have been more spot on. And then the first thing my fiance said was, "That looks like the sweater that Andrew Santino wore on the episode of The Office." And I have a screenshot of that. It's Andrew Santino in this sweater. And she keeps saying it. Every time I wear this sweater, she's like, yeah, remember Michael Scott was like, I just want that sweater. I just want that sweater.
Oh, that's hilarious. I
From Andrew
forgot that he
Santino.
was even in The Office.
Yeah, Andrew Santino. I love Andrew Santino. I know. So,
wrong bitch and zoom. Now just
I
scroll
know.
down. Do the
See,
two-finger scroll.
I made it look easy. I made it look so easy.
That sweater does not look like your sweater. Well, it kind of.
It kind of does.
That one's like a
it's a
thicker-
fisherman's. This is supposed to be like a fisherman's sweater from Andrew Santino.
That's funny.
Some similar
so that's-
fabric patterns.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's great. I love
yeah.
it.
It's a heavy fisherman's sweater. So I don't know if we all did our updates, but that was my update. I'm taking the easy route.
Yeah.
We really didn't do much updates, I don't think.
And I think you did one, right, David?
I did mine because it was all about the museum.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I don't think Tom never did an update up here.
No.
He missed his shot.
That's okay.
All right, well, I'm going to make the drink, so I'm going to pour out a little bit of Cooperstown Distillery whiskey along with some Krabby's Original Ginger Beer. There's already an ice cube in these glasses.
I didn't even notice you had the ginger beer.
Oh yeah, dude, the
There was
second
some whiskey
Oh,
ginger.
dude, there's alcohol in this ginger beer too, so it's not just ginger beer; it's ginger beer with alcohol and Krabby's.
jeez.
Shouts out to Krabby's putting alcohol in the ginger beer. It just makes sense.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you, Tom. All right, so bourbon first. I'm gonna pour out about a shot. I'm gonna measure it with my eyes.
I love the Cooperstown though because it is my favorite Hall of Fame. I had the privilege of going there, 6 or 7 years ago now, and such a
Nice,
cool
dude.
place.
Nice.
Like I could have easily. I think I probably spent maybe 3 or 4 hours walking around with my wife there. And actually, shout out to my wife's brother who was playing. The reason we were there, he was playing in a Cooperstown tournament.
Shout
in
out to
his
Max.
Little League travel team. Yeah, and we went there. We probably spent 3 or 4 hours there, and I felt like I could have easily spent another 10 hours looking. Like one of the coolest parts to me, I saw they have a display where they have every single World Series ring out in a case. Ooh. And you can see them from the very first one, and it goes in chronological order, obviously, up and down, and it's this massive case with all the rings. You can just see like how they got way bigger, like now the ones like
Over the
it's
top.
got like a whole stadium that like flips out, and like if you can maybe even find like what the most recent World Series ring looks like, it's outrageous. It's like a whole piece of art that like sits on the top.
I wonder how much they go for, like an original, authentic.
Yeah, I remember when the Cavs won. Because when I was
2016.
when I was in
Wait, was it
college,
2016?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. When I was in college, I went to the Ohio Center for Broadcasting, and I interned for what was the Akron Arrows. I did 2 seasons. It was Akron Arrows, and then the next season was the Akron Rubber Ducks. And the creative director went on to work at the Cavs, and we stayed in touch for a time period. And he actually got a one of the rings when they won. because he was there in 2016. He got one of the rings when they won, and I was like, "Holy smokes, dude! That is so cool." What I would do for one of those rings to like be a part of the production? I don't know. It was very, very cool.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to this is the sports segment.
Yeah.
Actually, I got a little interesting.
Look at that.
This is the LA. Oh, this is this recent LA Dodgers championship baseball ring.
They started having them like detachable and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's what
It's 14 karat yellow gold diamonds and genuine sapphires.
Yeah, that is so cool. I love that my wife is a jeweler because I love asking her about all these kinds of things.
How much do you think? 14 carats. 14 carats. That's actually insane.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. I mean,
because I did some engagement shopping, so I know that gets insane.
Look at the picture with them. Go scroll. Look at the picture of it on his finger. Look how tall that sits.
Yeah, that's
like that is ridiculous.
And they'll say you used to be able to actually like wear it around. Now it's just so big.
Yeah, it sits in a case.
Yeah,
like in your house or like wherever you would store it or showcase it.
It's funny. You guys know the high school, senior high school rings that you would get.
Yeah.
I like it was like a couple $100s.
Yeah.
I remember my mom gave me a check to buy one, and I looked at how much the check was and the ring, and I'm like, I threw the check away in the trash when I got to school.
I wanted one.
You're like,
so
I'm not letting my parents pay that.
Yeah,
kind of
and then
thing.
a couple weeks later, she was like, "Where's your ring?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, I threw away that check." Like,
I paid for mine on my own.
Was she pissed?
And it was wrong.
I don't remember her being mad. You paid for yours on your own?
Yeah, because I wanted one so bad, but it was.
Even then, I'm like, you're not.
My sister's husband actually still wears his. Like occasionally, he'll bring it up. And
I've got mine on a shelf actually, so I could see it. But they
well, you paid for it as well.
Yeah, they put the wrong design on one side, and then it also, because I got it like my sophomore year, it wasn't even the school I graduated from.
Oh my god!
So
it's a fraud.
It just sits there. It's not even my birthstone because my birthstone is pink.
We were talking about what you said, like what would you give for one of those rings or whatever, and like actually being there. I've never brought this up before, but now it seems like a good time when we're talking about like hardware from championships. My best friend is a pro paintball player, and there was I also played paintball with him. Like we basically started playing paintball at the same time, and he eventually, we played college paintball together, and then he eventually went pro because he's just very talented, very good. And there's always like a couple tournaments in Florida every year for the pro teams, and so there was a couple times, I think I went 2 or 3 times with a team where I helped pit, which is where you keep the paintballs at. There's a lot going into pit. It's almost like a NASCAR pitting crew where like you really have to be on your pit. Keep the paint at a certain level. Or at a certain temperature, so it's brittle, so it breaks easier. You have to wipe off all their hits and everything like that, like give them water and do a whole bunch of stuff. Pod their or put paint in their pods to go back on the field. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff you have to do, and they were a newer pro team, like straight out of Columbus, like just a bunch of friends hanging out. Like no one has a salary from this. Like there's pro paintball teams, and people don't know. It's the NXL, or I think they're doing the Major League of Paintball now. But yeah, there is a pro scene in paintball, and there's a divisional, there's college paintball, there's a divisional route to paintball, D4, D3, D2, all that stuff. Yeah, thanks. This is NXL. And they play speedball, which is air-filled bunkers. But long story short is I helped pit one event. Yeah, it's very fast-paced and very cool. I helped pit one event, and they got 3rd place that event. So for a new team, being 3rd place, playing against people that get paid 6 figures to play professional paintball, just a group of friends, was a tremendous achievement. And I can't say how hard paintball, I can't say how hard it is to play paintball. It's extremely hard. They shoot 10.5 balls a second, or it might be 10.2 to be perfectly honest. 10.2 balls a second. And it's just super fast paced. There's yelling, communicating. It's like an intense game of chess. Yeah. And so to play at the highest level, with like, dude, everyone's jacked at that level. Like, cardio isn't a thing to them because you might not think it's very cardio intensive, but it really is because you're wearing a mask. You have all that gear on you, and you're playing in Florida. They took third place at that event that I helped hit one of the events, and I also got a medal with the team. I got a medal, like a pro,
very cool.
a pro paintball third place medal,
That's
and it's
awesome.
sitting up in my office. Something like I never thought I'd get, but riding the coattails of a very talented friend will help.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we just both love paintball to this day. We still play from time to time, and paintball is a sport that like solidifies friendships no matter what. That's kind of how I met Thomas, through a paintball buddy, and we still talk to this day. Like, if I play paintball with you, if I like had your back during paintball, we're probably still friends to this day.
Shout out Nate Anderson.
Shouts out Nate Anderson.
I also worked at General RV with a guy who was like, we have mutual friends, and it was because of that paintball connection.
Yeah, it's a crazy like brotherhood.
Which we need to do a paintball.
Yeah, I was just gonna say a little foreshadowing. There might be a 1v2 in the works coming up. As soon as it's not like freezing outside, there's gonna be a 1v2, pro versus the average Joe.
Yeah, I play pretty high level paintball. Like I would consider myself like D2.
And I believe like Tom and I have never played paint.
I've played.
So it could be you2 versus me, easy.
I played paintball twice in my life.
I've shot a paintball gun.
Once is with a future guest of ours. The other is with some friends who had an extra gun that barely worked. Everything was freezing, and they just tagged me because my gun, like the paint was freezing.
Yeah,
and not shooting.
You don't want that.
So they were just lighting me up, and it was no fun.
I remember me and my dad played at the property in Southern Ohio that we have.
That's undisclosed.
Yeah, super
Secret.
And I accidentally shot him in the neck, and he's like vowed to never play again.
That'll do it.
Yeah, I just saw him running. I'm like, bam! He's Sorry.
Oh, it hurts so bad. I've only been hit by a paintball a couple times, and to think about it on my neck.
When you play professional paintball, you never get hit once. You never get hit once.
Yeah.
Like think about it, the highest level paintball. So when you see someone walking off the field, you're lighting them up. You're just stitching them up with paint. Like one, they have to clean off all that paint in the pits. It takes time to clean off all that paint. Two, you're like demoralizing them. You're giving them 7 or 8 more bruises going into the pits every single time. People do not know how incredibly tough pro paintball is. Like
They'll
it's not
learn when we post the video. We post like the after pictures we all take, like of all the bruises on ourselves.
Yeah, someone tenses up. They're like 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna shoot with the paintball. It's like, ow, that really hurt. Just imagine like I said, it's 10.2. I think it is now. Balls a second when you pull the trigger.
That is crazy. Because I remember them having like the double triggers that you could use.
That's when it was on semi-automatic. So every trigger pull would be a shot, and you just have to get really good at using both fingers to pull the trigger. Now
that's the last that I remember.
Yeah, it's a 3-pull ramp. So you pull the trigger 3 times, and then like relatively quick, and then it goes to 10.5 automatically. Or
You're
10.2.
kidding.
No.
That's like a cheat code.
That's how it's been for a while, even when I was playing.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I remember. I'm from like the Tippmann '98. Like I remember having a Spider compact.
Yeah.
As
we all went through those stages.
Like that was my gun. I remember. I sold it a while ago. I don't have anything anymore. But yeah, that's too funny. I didn't know that they had like a. It almost seems like a battery operated. Like it ramps up and then it's just like.
It's all programmed. There's a computer in the whole thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And how much do those guns go for now? Because I remember even the Spider compact.
1,200, 1,300. You can really pay as much as you want. Yeah.
Wasn't there the Angel? Wasn't that like a high-end model?
Yeah, that was still around the same price back then, but again, it was just way more heavy, and it could do way less because of the programming back then, and it was just heavier. Now they're super, super light. I mean, there's not even a thing you could shave off these guns now. They're
That's crazy.
It's pretty cool. It's really cool. I love niche sports. I love sports of all shapes and sizes, and I love niche sports. I love it all. So I think going along with the sports segment, we're going to share our favorite sports memories.
Yeah. I have one in particular that I'd like to share, but like I'm cool with whoever wants to go first. I don't know, Tom. You said you had a couple, so do you want to hop on the mic and maybe share one of yours? Maybe your favorite?
Sure, I can share 2 real quick. One is I had the chance that I used to get to go to the old municipal stadium to see Indians games.
Okay.
So one of the memories I'll always have is like walking through the dingy, moldy, water dripping tunnels,
asbestos-ridden,
and it's just cold and dark and damp. And then you get to like one of those cutouts where you can see the field and you see the light and you smell the grass. Yeah. And going there with my dad, between seeing the big Chief Wahoo on top, and then once you get to the field and that light and everything, those are my favorite memories, as well as like they have the troughs in the bathroom instead of urinals. So being like 8 years old and just surrounded by dudes peeing was always so uncomfortable, and it was like, there's got to be a better way to do this.
Dividers.
Yes. And so, but my favorite memory, I believe it was 2014. I grew up a Michigan football fan. I like to be different than everybody else. I love the uniforms. I love some of their players. So my little brother went to Ohio State. And as soon as he got accepted, I was like, well, I can't root for Michigan. I have to kind of change my allegiance. And then he took me to an Ohio State-Michigan game. We sat in the student section. And I believe it was 2014. So I got to be involved with all the cheering, all the, the things that they had going on, the chants during kickoffs, and, people passing me moonshine like in the stands, the band, the pageantry was amazing. We beat Michigan, I believe it was like 42-28, and we stormed the field. So it was me and my little brother who was in college, and I was just so proud of him, and we're standing like on the end zone of Ohio State, Michigan. We got to boo everybody, we got to cheer, and it was one of those memories, like I still to this day, when I think of him, I think of being on that field and just a sea of humanity and everything. And then it was probably like for the next month, I instinctively would boo someone in Michigan gear no matter where I was. Like, I was in a mall in Tennessee and someone was wearing Michigan. I'm like, you suck.
How old were you when you did this?
Man, this was probably 2014, I believe. So 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So 30. I was probably 30.
Okay.
And so I think he was a freshman.
Wow. How cool. I've always seen
awesome.
videos, like, even in, a couple of the famous football ones where, like, they all get on the field goal posts and tear them down, or in
Tennessee takes
basketball
them to
where
the
they
river.
cut the net off of the rim. Like, all of those would be such cool experiences to be a part of. That's neat that you, without even going there, like, got to be a part of that.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll never forget it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I guess I can run to mine then real quick. I was going to at the time, an Indians game, now known as the Guardians. And we were actually sitting in the seats that your parents have. So
yeah, second row back from the third base side, like right behind the dugout on third base.
If you're watching TV, it's one of the coolest things. If you're watching TV and they show a right-handed batter, if they're doing like his profile, you'll be able to see your guys' seats in the background. Of it. So we were sitting in those seats, and I remember the game. It was a close game. It was, I think we were down 3 runs. It was close the whole game, but we were down 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th. And I remember bases being loaded. I was sitting next to my mom. It was my mom, my dad, and my sister. That was the only 4 of us that were there. And I remember, like, first pitch, swing and fouled it off. Second pitch, it was a ball. And I looked to my mom, and I was like, he's going to hit a grand slam on this pitch. And she looked back at me and was like, I know. And the very next pitch, he hit a walk-off grand slam. And it was one of the most, like, sports magical moments that I could have experienced. Like, forget me calling it. Forget my mom saying it was going to happen. It was just like, holy smokes, a walk-off grand slam where at the time Travis Hafner was our big hitter. Like, he was if there was going to be a person that hit a home run, it was going to be him.
I was just going to ask who it was.
Yeah, Travis Hafner,
Okay.
That's who hit it. Yeah. It was so cool. And I just remember being like electrified the rest of the night. I was probably like 15 to 17, somewhere in there.
The iconic Travis Hafner grand slam for the Indians happened on July 7th, 2011 against the Toronto Blue Jays, capping a 5-run 9th inning comeback for a 5-4 walk-off victory, solidifying his legend as Prunk.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
That's crazy that you actually found that. Yeah, I think that was that game because we were down 3.
Grand Slam walk-off is something that's going to be on Google.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That is so cool.
2011.
2011, so I was 17 years old. Yeah, that was just.
And he was
that
supposed to
one
be
of
so
those.
good. There was.
I know.
And
We'll
talk,
what happened?
We'll talk a lot of Guardians, I'm sure, but when you have people like Travis Hafner and Grady Sizemore, there was a trajectory that we thought we were on, and it then you got closing pitchers sending weed to their house in their dog's name, and it just kind of went
That's
downhill
fine. Let
from
it
there.
go. It's just weed.
I forgot about that.
Chris
I forgot
Perez.
about that too. Yeah, I don't think our audience is really gonna know about that that specific Cleveland story.
Yeah. We can get into that in another spot.
But yeah, that's really cool. Like, I'm glad you got those seats are dope. Those seats were the same seats that I had my sports memory in.
Oh, fantastic.
It's not a happy one though,
Oh, what the?
because I'm a Cleveland fan. Not many of my sports members are gonna be happy.
I know what you're gonna say. Unfortunately.
Was it also 2016 when they were in the World Series?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we were looking for the double title.
Right, that's right. And so I had the same seats David was talking about, second row back from the Guardians, or from the Indians, I think they were Indians back then,
Yep.
dugout. And it was game 5 or 6 of the World Series, ladies and gentlemen. World Series.
Yeah.
Against, thank you, Tom, the Cubs. I was at this game where they went down 3-0 during the first. By the third, it was 7-0 Cubs, and the final score was 9-3. I was at that game. It was demoralizing, but I every single inning I was standing up like saying, "Go Lindor! Let's go! Let's go, Daytona!" That was me. Every single inning until the last out, and so that's why my parents liked. My parents might not like to take me to games. I remember the last game they took me to. They were like, "You can't heckle anyone." Because with those seats, you can heckle people.
Oh, yeah,
like they
you can talk
they
to
will
them.
hear you.
Yeah.
So I do a deep dive into one player. This is my strategy. This is why they told me not to do it anymore. But comment below with what you think. I do a deep dive on one player, right, of the opposing team, and I do a deep dive into them. I see where they play high school. I see their pitfalls.
Sure.
I see
I love
everything. And I heckle the shit out of that one specific player, right? And they always, I swear to God, dude, they always go 0 for 4. Every single time.
If it works, it works.
Yeah.
Run it.
The last time they told me not to do it, I respected their wishes. I didn't do it. But then at the end of the game, they're like, we lost. And then at the end of the game, the guy I wanted to do was like a superstar that game.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, you should have done it. And I was like, yeah, no.
That's
But
great.
yeah, I like to do a deep dive and just heckle the shit out of just get into the fucking mind of this player. Knowing like, oh man. But yeah, I really like doing that.
That's funny. We used to go to like Cleveland Crunch games in elementary school.
Cleveland Crunch games.
Oh yeah, indoor soccer, Major League Indoor Soccer. I was probably second grade, and we would go with like our latchkey guy, and there was a bunch of us, and we would be like yelling like, oh.
I don't believe that whole sentence.
Yeah, we'll cut that. If we didn't cut that part, producers.
But like we were in second grade, and we were just yelling like foul stuff. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I feel guilty.
Oh man, it's not that time anymore, Tom.
Oh my God,
Oh,
that's
man.
wild, dude. Tom, that's wild.
Oh man. All right. Well, I think we might be ready to somewhat bring this guy
Oh man,
home,
having such a good time.
and go with Tom's segment and see how this see what he's
boys
brought us.
fried, and I don't even know what that word is.
Embiid for Joel Embiid.
He's a NBA star.
So,
Okay, them boys fried, and Embiid knows it.
so this is just a funny video, right?
Yeah.
They were in France for the Olympics, and there was a lot of things going on. And there's this video where it definitely looks like the rest of Team USA basketball was up to something suspicious.
Okay, we don't even have to beat around the bush. It looks like they took a break.
Were they talking to Mary Jane?
They were
Oh, they were having...
high as.
Oh yeah, and LeBron with the he looks
The bucket hat.
sus.
LeBron already has a bucket hat on.
But it's like the grin that he gives to, like it's almost like they're giggly.
Oh, so
But
you've
it's-
seen this? I haven't seen this.
But it's funny
I have
because
it was a big story, but Go ahead.
But
Just
then you
play
got
it.
like the one old dude who's just like, you kids are embarrassing
Yes.
me.
Okay.
This is great.
Tom, audio.
What?
Oh, never mind.
It's got music.
Oh yeah. So it's them at the airport, and Embiid is like looking
That
at them
guy.
like, "Dude, are you kidding me? They went and took some gummies." And LeBron's just,
You got Kevin Durant with
oh
sunglasses.
shit, lock Oracle.
Steph Curry.
Steph's checking his fit. He's like, "What's going on?" Good.
Steph Curry is zipping up a zipped up
That's
Horton.
But don't they test for that? Do they
No.
test for that?
No.
Not
Oh, if they don't test for that,
Not
dude,
in
fire
basketball.
on, my guys.
In
Fire on,
basketball,
my
they're
guys.
clear. They can do it. Well, they would have no players.
And Joel Embiid is like so disappointed. He's just got that look like, man.
Kevin Durant walking in all like,
And look at him looking at him.
Steph Curry immediately looks away from the camera. Yeah, so they were all geared up.
Oh yeah,
That's
and it's
great.
it's kind of well known. Like they talk about, there's 80% that are getting high before they even play the game.
That's fine, dude.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
the
there's
most
been a lot of studies done that actually helps performance during games. In some case, like obviously not being like ripped, right? But in a smaller dose, there's been times where it actually has helped your reflex time and certain like athletic. It helps slightly. Well, I guess no. Maybe they're talking more like recovery. I don't know.
Well, if it helps, then it should be like illegal.
Exactly.
'cause
That's
it's
why I'm like kind of
performance
taking it back.
enhancing.
Right.
But yeah, dude, I think it's just such a benign thing to do. You know, me personally,
Sure.
that it's just like, it's just a life choice. Just like having a glass of wine after work or whatever. It's just it's all the same thing like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Can we
with
do
that.
one more thing before we wrap?
We can do one more.
I wanna
thing.
do one more thing.
What are you wanting to get at?
I want to do between you and me, David. I want to see if we can guess the top 5 teams to go to the World Series
Like of all
I'm
time?
sorry, I forgot about this.
of all time.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So while Tom's looking that up,
MLB.
top 5 teams to win the World Series. We'll start with number 1, and see if we can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I feel like there's like 3 that are pretty easy.
Oh,
Three
yeah.
aren't easy, but who's the top? Who's the top dog?
That's easy.
Top.
Top dog.
I gotta go. Oh man, see now I'm on the fence between. 2.
Without even looking, I mean, this is easy.
I think the Sox.
Red Sox? Oh yeah.
There's another Sox.
Of all time. See, so it'd be a toss between like them and Yankees.
I know. That's where I was at.
But you seem confident, so I'll go with the. All right, well, we can go with the Red Sox for number 1. I think number 2 has to be the Yankees. Then.
Yeah,
I think it
2
has
is
to be.
Yankees. I know, like other notorious teams, like the Cubs went forever without one, but I don't know how much they won back in the day. Definitely not the Indians. Never, never.
Yeah, no. So we got the Yankees or the dude, I don't
Red
know.
Sox, Yankees.
I don't know if I want to put the Red Sox at number 1.
Okay, what other teams? What else you got as far as the top 5? What other teams fit that bill?
God, I want to say like the Cardinals, honestly.
Okay.
Cardinals or
Okay.
Yankees for number 1. I could be.
Is
so
Tom
wrong,
in
so.
this or no?
No,
Because I
it's
guess
just
he
me and you.
has
It's just
the
me and you.
list.
It's just me
Okay.
and you.
I guess that makes sense.
All right, we'll go with the Red Sox for 1, Yankees for 2. I'm gonna put Cardinals at 3. Or is that stupid?
No,
Sure, you can do
That's all-
but then
that's all-
we still need 2 more, and I'm trying to think of like 2 other like big.
they're
names.
legacy teams. They're teams that have been around.
We haven't thought about this. I sprung this up, so
Yeah,
it's all real time.
that's why I'm kind of like trying to think of like teams that were big back in the day.
Oh, it's just since baseball's been around.
Well,
Yeah.
one is more of a recent thing. They've been winning a lot more recently.
Dodgers.
So LA.
Dodgers.
So the Dodgers.
We-
got-
Dodgers is. I would say Dodgers would be 5. That'd
And
be
one
my-
of them,
my 4
they
slots.
haven't won in probably 30 years.
So that's why I'm thinking for
Oh,
some,
Blue Jays actually won back to back. Not
man.
Blue Jays have won back to back.
for some reason I'm thinking Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
For some reason I'm thinking Pittsburgh did.
No way.
back in the day.
They had a few good years.
All
but
right. So number 1, Red Sox. Number 2, Yankees. We
3,
need 3, 4,
Cardinals.
5. 5. I'm gonna say is LA.
Cardinals. And then
Cardinals. Sorry,
Cardinals is 3. LA's 5. So we need a 4
We
slot.
need a 4.
Oh Oh man. Yeah, this is messing me up. I'm trying to think of another big team.
This is tough.
This is a tough question.
Because I wanted to say that because like the other big notorious teams are like the White Sox, the Cubs, like you said Louisville.
I'm gonna say no, it's not Astros. It's not Astros.
So out of the top 5, you guys have already put the Yankees.
Hold on.
Well, I'm not giving the order. I'm just saying who you have right so far.
Okay.
So far, you have the Yankees are in the top 5. The Cardinals, which was a good guess for you.
God bless.
The Red Sox are in the top 5.
Okay.
The Dodgers are in the top 5. So there's one left.
So we might not be in the right order, but we have nailed the top 5 so far.
That's not bad. And I swear to God, I didn't look any of this up. I swear to God.
And all of the teams
I like
still
this trivia.
Yeah.
We should do this.
Yeah, and all of the teams are like still under the same name, right? So he's not gonna trick us.
Well,
no, don't say anything. What team changed?
The team you're waiting for is currently in limbo and deciding what city it's going to go by. But it will be in a new city soon.
The Nationals? It's not the Nationals.
Unfortunately, I don't even know what team, other than like all the LA teams.
All right, well, you know what? We'll just say this is a surprise. So if you want to throw it up,
do you want me to give you some clues?
Maybe.
I can't even guess at this.
I want one clue.
They're currently in Sacramento and will end up in Las Vegas.
See, when you said Sacramento,
the A's?
Kings. Really?
Yeah.
Oakland A's?
Yeah, dude,
you're talking about the Dennis Eckersley years. You're talking about 1988, 89.
Do you have a graphic that you can throw up? But the
wow.
Okay, so the Yankees were number 1. The Cardinals were number 2. So we didn't get
Yankees by far.
We didn't get any of the ones right, but we got most of the ones that are up there right.
I thought the Yankees was going to be easy as the number 1 because that's all they talk about.
I know, but then the Red Sox. So ladies and gentlemen, just listening. The Yankees were number 1 with 27. Cardinals were number 2 with 11. Red Sox number 3 with 9. Dodgers 9. Athletics 9. So
who's 8? Can you look up who's got 8 titles? Like who's on the brink?
we flipped 1 and 3. We flipped 2 and 4, but we got 5 right, Or no, we said 5 was the Dodgers. That was the A's, but I'm happy with that. I'll settle for that. We got most of the teams. We got most of the teams.
So the Giants are on the bubble.
Oh, the Pirates are 8.
See, I said the Pirates had 5.
Oh, 5, yeah.
Yeah, but the Giants have 8. So the Giants are on the bubble. The
Giants were up there. Yeah, the Giants
were
up
there. But like if the Giants hit 9, then you have a 4-way tie for 3rd through 6th.
And the Giants were winning like every other year for a while.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
The Giants were good.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
But New York Giants and Chicago Giants.
Yeah, they moved around.
They moved. Yes.
Okay, as the Browns.
Cut that out, bleep that.
No, I like that. That's fun. I'm happy that we got 4. Maybe next episode we can do the same thing for like NBA.
Well, we
We'll do the same
technically
thing
got
for
5.
NFL.
We got 5 with Thomas' help, but we got 4 that were on there. That's
4 without any clues.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. We might do more of that because I also have the top 5
like
biggest
that.
box
That's fun.
office movies that we were gonna guess, but we don't have time.
We'll save it.
We
We'll
don't
save it.
have time.
We'll maybe that'll be our next episode, and we'll get back to sports the episode after that because I like the trivia thing. Kind of like to wrap up. It's a fun little.
Yeah.
If Tom's segment sucks, then we can at least end on a positive note, you know.
Or if mine is so great, we just need to keep going.
And that was the case today.
Your clip was just like the USA basketball team being stoked. And react.
Well,
they look stoned.
It is THC, and we really haven't talked about it much.
Yeah. The hangout culture, if you abbreviate it, there's a secret message. Decoder, use your decoder ring.
Yeah.
Use your decoder ring. And
they're on sale for $2.99 on our website.
If you eat your Ovaltine, your Ovaltine will get you your decoder ring.
Don't go weeds.
Find out what the Hangout Culture podcast, if you abbreviate that. You can write a letter, mail it, and label it to the North Pole. We'll get it.
Yep. Awesome. Well, it has been a great time hanging out with you guys. Thank you. We hope that you all have had a good New Year's and 2026 is off to a great start. We're excited to bring some guests on this year. We're excited.
Yes.
They are coming soon. We will not release anything else. We want it to be a surprise for you all.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a banger.
But yeah, it is not something you're going to want to miss. So like and subscribe on the YouTube channel that you're watching this, please, and thank you. And we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Thanks for the hangout.
Thanks for the hangout.
Follow us on Instagram.